Welcome to Your Anime Senpais. I'm John.
And I'm Richard.
And today we're going to be reacting to Fire Force Episode 6. And Richard, in the last episode, let's just do a quick review.
Yep.
We had Iris doing her purification rite, and we see her kind of having a little flashback. We find out that she went to a nunnery with the commander of the 5th Fire Force Brigade, which was kind of interesting that she went from being a nun to a commander, but whatever. So she, is disturbed by Shinra. She gets up and she leaves, and because of the interactions in the previous 2 episodes back, whatever, she goes to the 5th Brigade's place and goes and talks to the commander. The commander isn't so warm and friendly to see her old friend, and she comes in her nun habit, and the 5th commander just burns it off of her and talks about how the nuns are just kind of a thing for show in all these brigades, so it just kind of offends her by seeing it. So,
and we also see more of her crazy side too, because we saw it a little bit earlier in that episode when she was like torturing or experimenting with the Infernal.
Oh yeah.
But here we see more of it. It wasn't just the Infernal. Now she's kind of doing it to Iris too, in a way that she kind of had that really crazy look in her eyes. Like, she said something along the lines of how this world, the only thing she sees in this world are devils or whatever. So I'm assuming at least that whatever happened at the nunnery really affected her in a very negative way, and obviously she quit being a nun, but also she's kind of like just has this really negative view of the world. So. Oh yeah. But in any case.
So we get that interaction. The 8th realizes that Iris is gone, so they'll hop in the matchbox, and Arthur slices the space out in the wall, and they just drive right through, and Obi's missing.
Yep.
So
everyone else is there except for Obi.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But so they get in there. They all break up in their little groups. We have Shinra. He gets out, and they tell him, "Hey, just go get Iris." So he takes off, starts zipping around people, flying over their heads, whatever, and he goes. And then Arthur, not one to be shown up, follows his little trail, but then he runs into Conehead.
Yeah, like some old short Conehead.
Yeah. and the Infernal's with him, the one that was tortured. So where Shinra had kicked off his arm is now a flamethrower cannon?
Something like that?
Yeah. I don't know. But also I think they did something to the Infernal to make it stronger.
Yeah, the Conehead guy, he pumped it full of drugs, and now it boosted the Infernal's abilities by however much. But yeah, basically he's stronger. He's got a flamethrower cannon thing on his arm, and he's also got the number 5 branded on his head. So I believe that was all the modifications.
Yeah, he seems to be a little less in control, maybe even if I can remember right.
Right.
Been a little while, but. Yeah, so we have Arthur fighting these two, mainly the Infernal. We switch really quickly to Hinowa?
Hinowa, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the second in command of the 5th Brigade.
I'm not going to remember his name, but so Hinowa and Maki are fighting a bubblegum guy?
Yeah, Toru Kishiri. He basically is the blonde-haired guy. I believe he's the one that Maki, like he said something nasty about the commander under his breath, and Maki just subtly just punched him, or rather gave him a light tap, I think is what she called it. But apparently this Toru guy, he can chew bubble gum, then he blows it into a bubble, and then he uses that to kind of like a floating bomb, sort of, and he can control where it goes, it seems like, and then it explodes in front of their faces, and it's pretty dangerous. They kind of get behind cover. Maki figures out where he's at, and then Hinowa is like, okay, and basically shoots into the warehouse where Toru's at. But of course, Toru's behind a wall or whatever. But we found out earlier in that episode that Hinawa has the ability to control fire, is kind of similar to Maki, but in his case, he uses it to with his guns. He can control how powerful the bullet goes, how fast it goes, or whatever. And with Shinra, he kind of used it on Shinra, but it only like kind of just not really a tap, but almost like he compared it to a paintball gun or something like that.
Yeah.
It hurt, but it wasn't like an actual bullet shooting through his leg or whatever. But for this case, against Toru, he shoots into the warehouse. The bullets ricochet off the ground, but Hinawa is somehow able to control that to where he can use that ricochet, the sparks from the ricochet, to make the bullets fly into different directions, all of which they converge onto Toru and pretty much take him out. So not kill him, but just knock him out or whatever it is.
But in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So that fight's over and done with. We go back to Arthur. Arthur is caught left-handed, if I could use that pun, in this fight, and he is having a lot of trouble when he was kind of stumped as to why.
Yeah.
And even whenever I was watching, I was like, so why is he struggling when he thinks he should have an easy time? But what was it? The Princess Bride analogy you made kind of happened where obviously he wasn't using the right hand, and once he figured that out,
switches his hand and it's like done.
Yeah, no problems.
Right.
No problems. So
yeah, Arthur's kind of an idiot.
Truly
an idiot.
So anyway, all the other members besides Shinra have taken care of their opponents. I think even they had some of the Angels 3 or 6 or whatever they were pop in. Now that I think about it, and they dispatched all like 8 or 9 of them that of the 3. So even with all that going on, we kind of see back into the mansion or wherever the 5th Brigade is. The commander's putting on her coat. She's getting ready to make her appearance out, or maybe make a confrontation, or knows that they're coming in, one or the other. But we kind of leave off with Shinra.
He lands in front of this mansion of some sort, and we presume that's where Iris and the commander is at. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're pretty much anticipating that he's going to have a confrontation with her. She beat him pretty good last night. Well,
yeah, didn't even give him a chance. Like she did something and he was down.
Yeah, he was pretty much down. So we'll see how that works out for him this episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's gonna be kind of hard to figure out, but
I'm looking forward to it though. Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and also, where's Obi? We'll find out, I guess. I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve. So.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I hope he's involved in this somewhere.
Well, he's either going to pop out during this fight, or he's behind the scenes somewhere gathering all the data that Fifth Brigade. At least that's my prediction.
That's right, because she was the one using it to make her way up the to commander, basically, or maybe even beyond in the future.
But that's my prediction, at least. Who knows? We'll see if that pans out or not. So, shall we get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, there we go. Right where we left off. He's going to start walking in, and
like there are times they draw him in that suit and it looks like very unflattering, and that looks all right.
Yeah. She just
This is a great chance to lose before the fight starts again. Oh, there's
another
more.
one.
There's
3 on 3.
Three more.
And he took that out pretty. Man, they must be super weak.
That's why there's more than 3 of them. They're just gonna beat him with numbers.
Like, we're halfway through the series, and we still haven't seen. Like, I was expecting the cat girl to join their squad by now, but apparently not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What's
Yeah, what is going on with all this?
Oh, she's she's got something planned for him.
Mm.
I'm someone in the burn camp.
Yep.
Oh, did she burn them?
Maybe. Oh, that's what's going on.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow.
I wonder if this is PTSD.
Possibly, but I don't know. It's almost making it sound like she was the one that caused the fire more so than she was bothered by it.
There we go. That's why I keep forgetting her name, because they just keep calling her sister.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Well,
That's it.
well, it was a quick fight.
Wonder if she's
Oh.
like controlling.
Ah. Heat syncope. What is syncope?
Oh.
So she's expanding his blood vessels? Huh.
I really like that fan. I don't know why.
Hmm. Oh. So does it only affect the mind? Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh, this is the thing that she was envisioning before.
Yeah. Like when they were kids. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was making it. Hmm. Wow. Ooh, that's cool.
Where did her fire go to? She had a ring of fire around her and then it just
They didn't
disappeared.
bother to animate it.
I guess.
Yeah. Or. Hmm. Yeah, it's just all gone.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Hmm.
That was actually really.
So is it
Pretty crazy.
momentary attack now? Can he kind of?
You're still giving him plenty of chance too, but like you could finish him off right now if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Well, she is the kind of sadistic person that wants to mess around with
True.
her victim, especially if she feels like she's in control.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
That is so cool looking.
Okay. You can make Sakura out of fire? I mean, that's cool, but that's probably super dangerous, and he's probably going to get burned right about now.
Ooh. Too bad you don't have a hood on that outfit.
Right.
How is she not getting burned?
Probably because she's making sure the Sakura doesn't fall on her.
Hmm. What statues to have sitting around their little fire company? Hmm. Gravel. Hmm. Hmm. So maybe she didn't do it? Hmm. 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 It is really weird. It was just all of them but the two.
Mm.
Maybe there was something that they ate or were exposed to that, those two weren't.
Well, but see, it comes down to the question of why does it happen in the first place?
Yeah.
So,
Hmm. And he's back up. Hibana.
voice
Oh.
actors is on point on this. Reminds me of
Ooh.
Bleach, actually. With what's his name?
Hmm.
Rukia's brother.
That looks so good. Hmm.
He's announcing that I'm going to beat you right now.
Hmm.
It's true.
That he's gonna be one. That's right.
The fist of justice.
I am deluded, lady. Wake up call,
The
man.
fist of justice. uh,
Well,
uh,
he's the new One Punch Man this season.
actually, I would compare him more to um, what's his name from
Ooh,
a
that's
certain
cool.
series.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. Almost looks like glass. Or stained glass.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
that actually is pretty clever. I wonder how the like elder nuns felt about her powers.
Hmm. Yeah, it never really shows that they disapprove of it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not like she's trying to hide it, but there are none present.
right.
Hmm.
And that's where she tries to touch it, but she can't because it'll burn.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh.
hey!
Oh, never mind.
It's like, sorry. Let me just get rid of
You
this.
didn't see anything.
Oh, they stayed outside. I bet you this is when it happens.
Hmm.
That's why they were spared because they stayed outside.
Hmm. That was some pat on the head.
Right? Oh,
Hmm.
that's what it was.
Wow.
They because they had stayed outside. They had
But what does that mean? Was there something in there that they?
could have been.
Huh.
Yeah, PTSD.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm. I wonder how much time's passed.
Huh. Kind of interesting. The Sakura is still falling though.
You're still like commander of the 5th. Come on. This guy. Because he's a hero.
That justice punch you just got. Well, that's interesting.
Got a little bit of a love triangle now.
What do you intend to do? Ping ping.
Yeah, there's the headpan again.
Oh,
That's
looks
very
like
nice.
she's mastered it pretty well now.
Oh,
Wow.
So, can we also stop the fight outside too while we're at it?
I think they took care of all the fight outside, didn't they?
Yeah, true.
Oh,
Oh, there's more.
let's not do that again.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still going on.
Okay.
I mean,
The guy in glasses.
John Wick. Oh,
Oh,
so where is he? Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody just pat her on the head.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
sure. And she called him by his name too, actually, not Gravel.
Mm-hmm. It's because she's taking a liking to
Yeah,
him.
she's got the whole hard eye and everything. She's like, wait a minute here. Hold on. Time out. What? So he was behind the whole time?
Wow.
What?
Necessities.
What? What? So he's like, what, it's already over? Man!
So he didn't even go.
What?
Ooh, investigation of the first.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I predicted
Mm-hmm.
that either Obi was, gonna pop in the last second,
Yeah.
turn the tide of the fight, whatever, or that he was back in the background
Digging through.
digging through all their stuff, getting all the information, whatnot. No, apparently there was a third option. He
was still preparing.
He was still preparing himself. What? Like,
it's over?
you know, I'm disappointed, but yet at the same time, I'm not.
I'm impressed that he thought it would take him that long. And he was like, well, it's about my time to go and, come in at the last minute and save the day.
Right. It's over, I guess.
And then he gets that phone call.
Oh, man. That, I already liked his character, but now it's like,
yeah,
I don't know if he's my favorite, but he's kind of up there. So I don't know where I want to go with this, but so going from that, let's talk about the 5th Brigade's commander, Hinawa. No, not Hinawa.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I think it's Hinawa.
No, Hinawa is the second commander. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Second in command.
I think it does start with an H, though.
Yeah. Hibana. Yes, Hibana. Okay. So, like we talked about, she
didn't I was thinking she was the one that lit the fires, but she didn't.
No, they were outside.
They were outside whenever whatever happened.
Although it was kind of curious how the sakura tree burst into flames. So I don't know, did that actually happen, or was that just supposed to be like a like an omen kind of thing? Yeah, kind of an omen, or maybe just her sanity, just to show her sanity, just went up in flames or something along those lines. I don't know, but
yeah.
Either way, it does look like at the very least that's what saved them, was that they were outside. Iris, delayed them enough to where whatever happened on the inside.
This is really going out on a limb. I mean, this is like far off, in the backfield thinking, but what if the sisters did this? Because they were like, hey, everybody, come on in. It's time to come in.
That's true. Possibly.
I don't know what they would gain from it. Maybe there was some kind of plot.
So here's one thing, based off of what you just said. The one elder nun, she did say, you've been given a gift by Soul.
Yeah.
Right? Soul.
Yeah, the sun god.
Soul eater. No.
Yeah.
Soul. So, you should be careful with it or whatever. But, clearly there was sort of like a reverence there. And then, of course, the other girls were, pretty, I guess, jealous, or not really jealous, but they were envious. That's the word. Of her abilities or whatever. So, I mean, you could be right. Maybe they were trying to set something up to where, they would gain those powers or something, but maybe something went totally wrong.
Yeah.
It's kind of all speculation at this point, but yeah, I mean, clearly she was affected by this tragedy. I mean, of course she would be, but she kind of just went like totally left field, whereas Iris seems like she's affected by it, but she drew
closer to her faith.
Yeah, right.
That was the main thing that happened, was one drew further away and one drew closer, and you can kind of tell the differences of what that meant to each of them and how they handled each of those situations.
Yeah.
So
Shinra has another person to add to his harem now. He's officially going to become a harem king in this series. Yeah. So he's got 2. Who else is he going to add? Maybe the cat girl. I'm sorry, 3, right? Because now he's got the cat girl.
I mean, so since Obi is over him, kind of as his mentor, is he the one actually over all of them?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how that works. I mean, he's his boss, but doesn't mean he's like in charge of his harem. So I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Just a thought.
Yeah, but anyways, he's got 3. So who knows? I don't think Maki's going to join in that because
no,
I
don't think she's like that.
She's kind of an airhead. So like what Iris is saying, she said like 90% of the time she's cool, but the 10% of the time she's kind of an airhead. So if we just get rid of that 10%, but no. But yeah, it was definitely interesting to see her Hibana's story arc kind of unfold, and I'm assuming I don't know if she's going to be allies with the 8th at this point, but I mean maybe she is.
I think it'll be interesting how they play it from here on, because It did make the quote of the more outlandish or whatever it is, the more I don't know obnoxious. I don't know whatever word they use, the more extravagant the excuse they give, maybe the more believable it'll be.
Right.
So they could come up with some really just far out stuff like, oh, we were doing this. Field test, and now we're all buddy buddy, and
Well, but now the question is she going to share information, like properly share information with the Eighth?
Yeah.
Like, what was at the end? Oh no, the end credits or the end the preview title for the next episode said something about investigating the first. So I'm assuming that we're done with the 5th Brigade now, and maybe the 5th Brigade might divulge some information about the first, maybe, or divulge information for them to be like, oh, well, maybe we should investigate the first now because
maybe she knows what they know and not. Well, maybe she knows like what they know, but not like exactly what they know.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Just has a general idea of what they might know, or at least has.
Maybe she knows that they know what causes a combustion, but she doesn't know that particular reason. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, but in any case, that's going to be very interesting to see. Do you think that they will kind of bust into the 1st Brigade like they did here, or do you think they're going to take a more covert approach to this? Because I mean, I
don't think they're going to attack the 1st like that, just because the 1st literally is number 1.
Yeah.
They're probably the most respected, the most
probably the
watched
most powerful.
Over. Probably has the biggest group of firefighters, fire brigade fighters. Yeah,
the elites of the elites of the elites.
I was going to say employees, but
right.
I don't know how really much they're employed.
Right.
But yeah, they should have the biggest company and best company of all the districts.
You would think so, yeah. So I feel like they're gonna be more covert. You would think at least that they would be more covert with how they're going to deal with it first, because one, you've got Shinra and his memories of their captain, which the captain blatantly denied, but there's suspicion there, like, oh, he probably knows Shinra. He probably remembers him somehow or another.
Well, even whenever the 5th showed up, whenever Shinra was fighting the Inferno, they were like, oh, he's doing this one type of burst, and they were like, oh, he's pretty impressive. We should keep our eye on this guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like the whole just for a moment talk about the Hibana's ability with the heat syncope. I guess we should have probably looked up what that actually meant, but it talked about how she was basically just making him lightheaded, or
also known as fainting, is a loss of consciousness and muscle strength characterized by a fast onset, short duration, and spontaneous recovery. It is caused by a decrease in blood flow to the brain, typically from low blood pressure.
Okay, and that's what she said she was doing, was doing something to his blood pressure, whether it be internally heating, like, and causing vessels to expand, something like that. But that was honestly not what I thought she was doing.
I mean, it had to be dealing something with fire, because they all have fire powers, but it's like
I mean, maybe it was just like a fine steam or mist that she could emit like internally in someone to make all their body temperature just spike super quick and just knock them out, or make them dizzy.
I mean, clearly, one thing about this series is that the author has some pretty clever ways of, because pretty much all these characters have is fire powers, right? But he expands on that. It's like, well, I mean, you've got fire, just that you make, but then what can you do with fire? Well, you can light something up. You can, mess around with their blood pressure. You can ricochet bullets and stuff like that. It's almost kind of like with
the beam sword made of
plasma. It kind of reminds me with Magneto from the X-Men, because when you think of Magneto, it's like, oh, well, he can control metal, no big deal. But then when you really think about it, Magneto is like an Omega level mutant, and he can like change the magnetic poles or whatever, and like drastically shift the weather, and mess with the iron in your blood, make you faint, things
Yeah.
like that. So just things that you don't really think of. You kind of think of just the simple things like, oh yeah, you can bend this crowbar to do whatever, or you can throw a whole bunch of metal at you.
And really, he's kind of challenged himself because if he had more elements to mess with, he
Right.
probably wouldn't have been so deep into just fire. He
Right.
probably would have been like, okay, this person, well, actually, more like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I was about ready to bring that up too.
He would have hit the main things they do, but over time, you would have had the bloodbenders or
The
things
lightning
like that.
benders.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But he kind of really put himself in an interesting challenge where he's like, no, I'm going to use this one element, and we're just going to do everything we can to exploit it, to manipulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was doing Google research on what. Maybe he'll have somebody that can cause heat stroke later on.
Right, yeah.
Who knows? But it's just really interesting. I think that he's kind of written that in this style.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of an old saying: "Limitations breeds creativity." So the more you limit yourself, you can, the more you can figure out, or the harder it is to try to come up with something. So you really got to concentrate, like, how would this actually work in this situation type of thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here too. Is like he limited himself to just fire, like you said, and it's like, okay, well, what can we do with fire? What all other than just burning things? What can we do with it?
And really, even whenever she was a kid, Hibana had the different elements or whatever. Changing just the colors, just simple science. But I mean, if that's a thing, then they could definitely have somebody that carries around water and they have steam as their weapon, or who knows,
right?
Just
or like throws or has like rocks. Again, I'm kind of drawing off of Last Airbender here, but has rocks, but then like throws it and they just melt in this lava, and then
they have lava or magma or whatever.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So. Overall, I would say this is a really good episode.
Oh yeah, definitely. Really enjoyed it.
Honestly, even if I'm just gonna like cut anything away from this or take anything away from this, the fist of justice, the fist of the hero.
That was actually what I was trying to refer to when I said it was a one punch man, because he one punched her and that was it.
Well,
took her down.
So let me look that up right quick. Like the reason why I bring up the guy from. Toma, that's his name. Toma from a certain magical index. So basically, he's well known for he will at the conclusion of his fights, at some point he'll punch his opponent, and usually that's what takes them down. Not so much in the same sense as One Punch Man, where like he just obliterates his opponent.
Well,
but he's basically a normal human. But he's facing off against like these superpowered people, and then at the very end, or towards the end rather, like he'll punch them, and it doesn't matter. And again, this is the reason why it reminds me of Toma, because it doesn't matter if you're a guy, it doesn't matter if you're a girl. If you're doing something wrong, you're gonna get punched, and it's the punch of justice, the fist of justice rather. So, and he's a hero. So, but in any case, do you have any other final thoughts?
Nope.
All right. Well. Guys, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of Hibana and her story arc? Let us know down in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this reaction, subscribe. Burn up that notification bell.
Ooh.
And if you would, consider supporting our channel. We do have links down below for all that as well. So we'll see you in the next episode where we go and take on the first.